Hello, everybody, and happy Monday. Doesn't it feels like a Monday, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like a Monday. I hope everyone is having a good start to their week so far. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different on stream. I've decided that I am going to design some character adoptables because I don't have a commission queue right now, but I'm also not going to be reopening my commissions until after the new year. Just because with my day job and everything, I don't know that I'm going to be able to actually get anything productive done before the end of the year. But I still wanted something to do in my downtime, so I thought it'd be really fun to design a bunch of characters that will eventually be up for sale at some point. I came up with this sort of crescent moon tiefling design a while ago for a warm-up sketch at some point, and I just kind of fell in love with the concept, so I figured we would design the rest of them together. So for these, I don't want to pinhole them into a specific class. So the real trick to this is going to be designing clothes that doesn't denote a specific class type, because pretty much when you adopt one of these characters, they are as blank of a slate as you want them to be. They're not going to come with any sort of backstory or anything like that, and I wanted them to be able to be versatile. So if if you see one of the designs that you really like and you intend on playing them as a spellcaster, I don't want to then draw them in full plate armor, because that wouldn't really work typically. I'm also designing these with 5e, D&D 5e in mind. Some of them are going to be very specific to that, and some of them are going to be a little bit more generic and open, so that they can be adjusted to any TTRPG or whatever you would want to use them for. But this one is specifically a tiefling, and I've had a lot of fun scouring Pinterest for outfit ideas. I have a couple that I've already kind of sketched out the shapes of, because that's what I'm really trying to do. That's what I'm trying to get down first, is sort of the shapes and the breakdown of those shapes of an outfit, and then I will worry about the details of it. The main features of her, or of them, I'm just going to keep them as sort of a gender neutral sort of thing, even though this particular character is a little bit more feminine leaning. For the most part, I know their general portrait area, what that's going to look like, and I have their body type pretty much down. So this is still technically a sketch phase. Some parts are going to be a little bit looser than others. And then maybe we'll get around to doing the line art on stream today as well. I don't really know how long the stream's going to go today. I'm kind of just going to go until I feel like it's a good stopping point, honestly. And I am going to be lazy and just copy, paste, and flip and adjust, because I don't have the time to fight my brain and my hands of trying to make it like perfectly redraw the other eye. I know as soon as I flip the canvas, that's gonna look wonky as fuck, but you know what? That's exactly why we flip the canvas eventually. I'm not terribly worried because it is not the final lines, but I do want it to be close enough. And I do keep accidentally going back to the ink brush because that's just muscle memory at this point. Now I do envision them having mostly solid eyes, but what I like to do with my tiefling designs when they have the solid sort of, what's it called, sclera? I do like to have just a little bit of an edge of where a pupil would be, just to kind of make them a little bit more emotive. Yeah, that's the word I want, emotive. And I am trying to not put a ton of detail in the lines of the nose, because I do think that I'll be able to get the shape of it a lot more accurately with color and shading later on. So yeah, I'm not terribly worried about being super clean in this stage. So it's okay if these lines are a little sketchier. But I don't want them to be too all over the place because I do need a solid sort of guide for when I actually go in with the line art brush. I don't know that I think I actually want her jawline, or their jawline, to be a little softer than this. That's a little bit better. I am a sucker for tieflings. I always will be. It's a hill I will die on, if need be. I just think they're so much fun to customize. Like, between horn shapes and tails and whether or not they have hooves or feet. I think some of the variant tieflings in 5e can have wings. They're just so cool. You can really kind of flavor them however you want. And I love seeing people mix like custom races. Like, I think there was a post going around on Twitter of Genasi tieflings, or like elemental tieflings. I thought that was rad as hell. I love when people take inspiration from things that already exist and then build upon them to make them even more unique. I think that's why I like 5e so much, is because it kind of does make it easy to do that. At least from what I've seen. And then their hairline. It's kind of like that. Now for their hair, I really wanted it to be posture check. I don't have my webcam on today because I feel like shit and do not wish to be perceived, but I don't know if you can hear my chair cracking and creaking, but I have adjusted my posture. Thank you very much, the Albert of Sartre, for redeeming your moons and looking out for my back, because it is not the healthiest of backs. I feel like I constantly have lower back pain. Just Albert will do. thank you very much for stopping by, Albert. Welcome to the stream. Normally I do have my webcam on, but today's not that day. Promise there's mostly a human being behind the stream. Yeah, for their hair, I really wanted it to be very flowy and like ethereal. I just need background noise while I make a group of characters. Ooh, do tell. Color me intrigued. Is it for a campaign you're in, or? A lot of this hair is just gonna be like building up and then taking away, because I'll inevitably get carried away with how much hair I'm adding, and then I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot about silhouettes and how important those are. They all belong to me and I torment them all equally. Fantastic. We freaking love to see it. Are they D&D characters? Or like characters that you've played in games before? I have a lot of characters, and I definitely have characters that I torment on purpose more than others. But they all get tormented eventually. Whether I like it or not. Unfortunately, I will only tell of one because I'm a lazy son of a bitch. That's valid. Same. That is a whole ass mood. Let's see, I also have to be careful that these shapes make some semblance of sense. But only like a little bit. Whatever we don't get done today, I will be working on again on Wednesday's stream. But Wednesday will be a shorter day, because we actually rescheduled our Thursday game this week to Wednesday, because too many of us were busy on Thursday, and we didn't want to wait until December to finish up this huge boss fight. Alright, I think I like where we're at with the hair. I'm gonna scoot down a bit and do the tail, because regardless of outfit, that is pretty much set in stone of what that looks like. Let's see, Goblin, Genasi, Gnome, or Zampir? Genasi, because as much as I am a slut for Tieflings, I'm also a slut for Genasi. I don't know that I'm sold on this tail shape. Of like, I feel like it cuts just a little bit too close. Let's see. Let's do some other shapes. I chose the one with the smallest amount of progress. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I have not chosen wisely. No, I feel like that's... Alright, let's figure this tail out, shall we? Because I clearly don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Okay, I think that's better if it starts from over there. Okay, I'm fine with Goblin. Listen, I will happily take whatever you're willing to talk about. You are more than welcome to overrule my decision. Before I give you the actual info, why not guess the class? I want it to be Barbarian, but I'm probably wrong. I have a feeling I'm going to be redoing this fucking tale like a billion times. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to change my mind. Artificer. Artificer is going to be my second guess. That's still exciting, though. Artificers are hella fun to play. Have you played them before? Or is this one of the... Is it one of those, like, you have a million characters and not enough games to play them in sort of situations? I kind of don't want their tail shape to make a ton of sense. Honestly. I want it to be very exaggerated. Very, like, loosey-goosey. That can go. Captain Cook, Captain Cook, a once sane artificer that was shipwrecked and hit her head on the coconut tree, now thinks she's a pirate lord and rides her eldritch cannon shaped like a pirate ship on spider legs named Silvar. That's amazing. An eldritch cannon sounds like a super fun thing to have. Oh, I get it. Quicksilver. That's great. That's fantastic. I don't think I like that shape. Let's fix that. A lot of this is just going to be me drawing and then undoing and then redrawing and then rinse and repeat until I'm happy with what I have. Let's see. Okay, I'm not mad at that right now. Give it like 10 minutes. Just gotta get up with my artist with this. Hell yeah. I don't know. Nope, I don't like that. That's too much. Might be a little weird that the foot is kind of covering where the, like, it's not quite fur. It really is just hair. The hair of their tail is meeting, like, the form of it, but I'm not that mad at it. It could be worse. That's not where that's gonna go. Gotta get all my refs for colors and shit together for this character. Hell yeah. What kind of color palette are you thinking for them? Alright, we're gonna save before I totally forget to do that. Alright. So I do kind of have some like outfit ideas already. I have two. I have two. Um, I kind of wanted this first character to have very interesting silhouette with a lot of loose, softer fabrics that are kind of gathered in different places, and I wanted it to play around a lot with transparencies. But I'm not 100% totally sold on an outfit just yet. And I'm also not entirely sure if I want to add any form of armor, or if I want to try to incorporate a decorative aspect of it that could then translate into armor depending on what type of game you end up using this character for. Like, I've seen some character designs where their character is technically wearing like leather armor, but all they're actually wearing like leather-wise is like a bodice, which that counts because it's fantasy. Fuck the rules. I'm very much the of the mind of, you know, aesthetic over function for the most part. I'm also trying not to go too crazy on details because, again, this is not the line art earlier. This is just sketching. Let's see. So I have this, which is a two-piece sort of ensemble. Well, I guess really three. Lots of layers where there would be this main top as a solid piece, and then over top of it is a like sheer crop that kind of goes over top of it, and then a layered sort of wrap skirt at the bottom, and then probably very simple shoes. And then what I would end up doing is kind of go crazy on the detailing in the patterns of the fabrics, because the shapes are so simple and there's not a whole lot of accessories to this character. I might glam them up a little bit. Colors got me stumped. She used to be a simple city sewer goblin, but eventually became a good fucking artificer. I feel like you could work a lot with, like, if she thinks she's a pirate lord, you could go, if you didn't want to go like the stereotypical like deep blues, you could also do sort of deep reds and then offset those with maybe some gold or copper metallic accents. I guess it depends on if you want to go cool toned or if you want to go more earthy. Or you could do like just a hodgepodge of colors and have them be really kind of like eclectic. Color theory isn't something I'm good at. Honestly, you want to know a secret? Neither am I. I kind of just throw colors together until I think they look nice, and then I color adjust until they all harmonize. Like, it's not something I'm very good at explaining with my process. I also kind of just go through like Pinterest or, you know, any of the like color palette websites that you can find all over. And I kind of will pick something to kind of start with that catches my eye, that I think matches a character, and then I'll make adjustments from there. But you just gotta follow your heart. So the second outfit I had in mind is also very layered, but a little bit less, like, this would be sort of like a vest with some layered fabric at the bottom where it's gathered, and then kind of stereotypical like adventurer pants with some. I'd probably have more fun with the boots than is displayed here currently in the little mock-up, and then I would probably do a cowl neck 3/4 sleeve underneath it, and then I would definitely make the vest and this sort of belt very fun fabrics. Ooh, swampy colors would be cool too. Alright, we're gonna undo all these because I super did them on the wrong layer, but that's okay. I was just doing it for emphasis. There we go. I'm honestly, the more I'm talking it through, I'm leaning more towards this. Because this you could even dress as, like, you could even turn this into a, like, blade singer or a monk. You could get really fancy with it, I feel like. I might honestly be biased in a lot of my like design decisions because I primarily play casters. But you know, I'm really pushing myself to not make it really obvious that this is a specific class of a character. It lets me actually use purples with green and not feel forced. Ooh, that's fair. Especially if you use, like, purples and greens that are the same temperature. Usually helps. Give him some D&D form of Vitiglio. Hell yeah. That's not how you pronounce that word. But yes, that. Hell yeah. I say go for it. Unless you were telling me to do that for this character, in which case, sure. I have decided that this tiefling is going to have very deep blue, like navy skin. I want them to have very deep colored skin. Why not both? Exactly. Oh, my phone's going off. I don't know why. Oh, it's a bunch of emails. Oh, the emails. Okay. No, Google, I don't need your help. Thank you. Lets you use a more ice feel in patches. Ooh. Vitiligo, thank you. I will try to remember that for next time. I always transpose some of those letters and then totally pronounce it wrong. Alright, so, okay. I don't even know what to, hold on. I don't even know what to name that. We're just gonna call this one Clothes. Clothes 1. Look at me naming my layers like I know what I'm doing. If you're new here, I rarely label my layers because I don't make the time to do it usually, and that's entirely my fault. What is their sub-race? I assume one of the cooler layers of hell. I didn't actually have one picked out. I was kind of basing it off of, what's it called? Variant Tiefling. You can, let me look it up. Or you can kind of make shit up as you go. Which is totally my jam. But I was very much starting them out as more like celestial motifs. But that's not to say that we can't also include some icy motifs too, because I think that'd be really cool. Where's my thingy? I'm looking up stuff in the background. Don't mind me. I'm very professional. Where is it? Yeah, for variant tiefling, it, at least on D&D Beyond, it doesn't necessarily specify. It does say they can have wings, but I'll be honest, I don't feel like drawing wings because one of the other characters that I have in mind, one of the other designs, has wings specifically as part of their race, so I'm not going to do that. I don't want to. I'm planning on doing at least a trio to start with to see if people like are interested, because this might end up being nothing and they don't sell, and that's fine because it's still like I don't know, something to keep my hands busy, and I get to practice a bunch of shit that I don't usually do. Because you could actually incorporate actual ice-like scaling as if their blood runs cold in their veins. Ooh, that'd be really cool. Ha, literally cool. Bloodline of Levistus, that's what I'm thinking of. Ooh. Let me look that up while I have the page up, because... Oh, yeah, that's that one. That could work too. I actually kind of like that. I also would love to do like a mashup of... Okay, so I know in like D&D lore, Forgotten Realms, whatever the fuck, like Tieflings and Celestials don't like mix. But what if they did though? Because that would be fucking rad. And that's kind of the vibe that I was starting out with this character design, with the more celestial motifs. But I'm definitely not opposed to adding like icier things. Frozen Stygia is ruled by Levistus, an archdevil known for offering bargains to those who face an inescapable doom. Ooh. Or Bloodline of Mephistopheles. Words are so hard today. Happy Monday, y'all. Let me look that one up too, because I'm not terribly familiar with that one. Frozen Realm of Cania. Okay, offers arcane power to those who entreat him. Nice. That could work too. I do like the idea of adding some icier components. So maybe like like their fingertips are kind of frost touched at all times. That would be really cool. See, they look like a circle of dreams tiefling, and the moon is in space, therefore linking them with the moon kind of links them to the frozen abyss space is. No, I think it all definitely works out. I think we can totally incorporate sort of both elements to it and have it definitely work out. Oh, let me bring up my clothing reference again, because I already forgot what that shit looks like. Okay, there we go. Alright, so for the undershirt, I was thinking this very, like, squared off kind of neckline. Or, like, actually, kind of like... This might look dumb, and I might change my mind in a minute. Hi, welcome. I'm very indecisive. This is why I usually do commissions, because I can't make decisions for myself. But I do want this to have a more interesting shape than just like straight across. But what if it was kind of like that with like some gathering at the sleeves? That might be too much. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up looking and if I like it. Otherwise, we'll just keep it very simple. I don't also envision this being a very, like, I don't want this to be a particularly busty character. Which is unusual for me. But another thing that I wanted to kind of do with a lot of these character designs is explore more diverse body types. Because I feel like I kind of have a go-to. And I don't typically make a lot of terribly skinny characters. But I really want to push the shapes that I use when it comes to character creation. Might have found my own colors for quick. Nice! What have we potentially decided on for her? Good lord, I hate color codes. That's fair. Color codes are definitely helpful for, like, starter colors, if that makes any sense. Like, I love when a client gives me color codes so long as they understand that depending on what the rest of the piece looks like lighting-wise, those colors are going to change. Luckily, most of my clients are pretty understanding of that fact. Alright, some of this can change here. Of like where that actually gathers. Okay, I'm actually not super hating this right now, which is nice. Let's see. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to copy and paste shit. Okay. I don't actually know. Here's a fun thing about this program. I've never actually had to... Okay, this is stupid. I know how to do this in Photoshop, so we're just gonna open Photoshop. And look up those hex colors. I could Google it too, but I'm already opening Photoshop. It's fine. I'm the best man for ruining scheduled things. No, quite frankly, this is just how all of my streams are. I am a fucking hot mess at any given time in my life. Alright, let's do some copying and pasting. Twitch Studio, you're gonna let me do that? Or you're gonna be a little bitch about it? No, it's gonna let me. Okay. Ooh, okay, that first one's nice. It's like a nice, like, taupey sort of gray. The way I described that doesn't make it sound nice. But it is. Ooh, that second color is a nice blue. Or, wait, no, I missed 2 of those numbers because the stupid thing was in the way. 4, 9. Yellow. There we go. Total opposite. Almost. In chat, like, the click to reply button popped up right at the end of those last 2 or the last 2 characters. So it did not translate very well. Oh, I love that, like, deep mauve color. Hell yeah. That's gonna pair really nicely with the Friar Gray, depending on where you pop that color. This is great visuals for everybody who can't see my Photoshop screen, which is all of you watching. Ooh. And that last one's a really nice sort of cool-toned blue-gray. Those are really nice colors. I dig it. I think those are pretty good color combinations. Alright, for the skirt. Super fun. I do want it to have, okay, I don't want that there. I do want, oops, I keep going to the wrong damn brush because I'm not paying attention. My hand's just on autopilot. It's like, yeah, we're doing lines, so you need the line brush. And it's like, no, I'm not doing line art. Just doing sketchy lines. Here we go. And then the way I want the skirt to be is I want it to kind of, most importantly, it meshes with Artificer's browns and brass. It super does. Those are very good color combinations you've chosen, my friend. I might change up the hem of this because some of it might not make sense, but basically, I want it to be very loose and flowy, and we'll hide the tail lines if we do decide to go with this skirt, which I'm leaning very heavily towards this outfit, if I'm being completely honest with y'all. I think it has a lot of potential for really cool patterns, which I'll throw down in the flat color phase. That probably won't go in the sketch phase. Or if I do, I'll do it in a different color so that it pops a little bit more. And then... Oh, cool. That's not what I wanted to do, Pinterest, but thanks. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So I kind of think the poofy see-through sleeves are gonna gather at the wrists there. Kind of go out like that. I have been drawing a lot of poofy sleeves lately. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm just in a poofy sleeve mood. Now, do I make her lose her arm and eye because her previous scholar used them as part of an experiment to clone them and having to be replaced by clockwork ripoffs? Yes? I vote yes. I have a Tiefling cleric, surprising no one that I have more than one Tiefling character. But they have a prosthetic leg, and that is just the funnest thing to design. And like think about how it would be designed and how it would function, because it's fucking magic. It can look like whatever you want it to look like, whether it would make sense in the real world or not. Alright, and then just a very thin... Oh, you know what? That can move up a smidge. Then a very thin sort of band at the bottom for where that top layer of the other top would go. I really need to get a hold of my artist. Just hope she's okay. Because, man, she's been MIA all week, which isn't usual. Aw. I hope they're alright. Might just be a busy time for a lot of people. Especially when it gets closer to, like, holidays. Schedules can kind of go by the wayside. But hopefully it's nothing too serious. And just kind of bullshitting some detail until I decide exactly what I want this to look like. I do think I want to erase this though, because then more of a collarbone. That's probably too low. Collarbone. Collarbones are pretty high up typically. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. I am liking how this is turning out. Save. I did just find another really cool sleeve pattern where they kind of look like flower petals. I think that's a little bit too much. I do need to rein it in at some point. Eventually I will hit a point where it's like, you maybe took it a little too far. Let's tone it down a smidge. And then I think we can leave the shoes very, very simple shapes. I don't think the shoes are going to be the real star of the show here, especially since you can barely see them. Did I do that on purpose because I hate drawing shoes? I'll never tell. I can't imagine this is a character that would wear, like, high heels, though. Or at least not how I'm drawing them, they're not. Okay. Alright, I think I'm pretty sold on this outfit, actually. So we're going to... Well, now I just had a thought. I was going to delete, or to erase the lines of the tail. But then I thought, what if I also offer, like, a small clothes version of them? As like a base. Nah, that's putting too much effort into it. I mean that, I do say that lovingly, in the sense that the amount that I would have to charge for something like that to come with two full, essentially two full pieces of art for an adoptable character is more than I'm comfortable charging. Currently, mostly because I don't know how well this is going to work out. So I'm just not even going to bother. Okay. Now, what I think we can do is, well, I can finish sketching out the rest of their hand, which I already kind of did to make my life a little bit easier. But I do like the concept of them having, and this will be a little bit more obvious in the color phase, but having kind of ice-touched fingertips. They always kind of have like this icy sort of pattern on them. Again, it's just kind of like a sketchy thing, so I'm not going to go too crazy on the details. I say as I immediately go too crazy on the details. I actually can't really see the rest of the hand, so not in this pose anyway. but you would be able to see arm underneath this because it will be transparent, so we do need to get these lines in there again. There we go, like that. Okay. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Okay. I'm actually pretty pleased with this so far. I do want to add just some more lines here. Make these a little thicker because I know as soon as I go in to do the actual lines later, I'm gonna completely fucking forget what that was even supposed to be. Because I know myself. Okay. Save. Alright, now I think I'm gonna go in and sketch some accessories to this character. Let's see. Where can we add some fun stuff? Why not? It would help if I had the right brush. I am kind of a sucker for like hand jewelry. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of showing my whole ass with that, but it's fine. Did I do that on the clothing lines? I did, but you know what? We can actually merge these because I've already decided that this is the outfit that we're going with for this character. And then I'm just kind of... I do have a method of doing the lines for sort of like chain jewelry. This is going to be so tiny and delicate, though. We can kind of just allude to it for now, because especially since this isn't the actual line layer. There we go. And then kind of have it gather here with like a connector. And then also meet back here at the actual band of the ring. I think that looks kind of cool. Maybe have it actually twist. So there's something on this side too, because I think it looks a little weird with just the one side. Okay, that I kind of like. And then maybe we have some... clean out these lines just a smidge. And then we maybe have some little danglies here. Like maybe some of them are sharper than others, as like different types of glass beads. Like some have a little bit more of a finish to them, and some of them are a little bit more rough. which I think kind of would tie back really nicely to the sort of icier elemental motifs that we're also including. Nothing too crazy. Probably not going to be very evenly spaced, if I'm being honest. There we go. I don't like that. Motif sounds way different than it's spelled. That is correct. Hi, Pops! How are you doing today? I hope work wasn't too bleh for you. Playing the Forever Waiting. That sounds so fun. I'm sorry you have to play that shitty game. That is the worst. Gonna save. Nope, still at work, waiting for people to send the report so I can finish my day. That sounds very inconsiderate of people. Making you wait on them like that. Tell them I said hurry up. I'm gonna add something and we'll see if it looks really stupid when I'm done making it. If it does, then we'll just delete it. I kind of had this idea, like... Like, I was going to have it be kind of like a... almost like a sunburst, but then I remembered if, you know, gravity is a thing, so they wouldn't really, like, stick out to the side quite as much as I would need them to make an actual starburst effect. But maybe something like that, with, like, little connectors here of, like, beads or something. I don't design clothes for a living. Can you tell? Maybe something like that. Kind of make it a little bit more interesting. Very delicate. Ooh, but you know what I could do? I could kind of have like this interior beading. Now this might be a little bit too much, and then we'll delete it when inevitably I decide that it is too much. It almost looks like an eyeball, which I don't hate. You know, I don't hate that. That I don't think works though. I think I do need the smaller sort of loops on the inside. Or maybe I just leave those blank. I think I'll leave them blank for now. We'll see how I feel about it in a couple minutes. That's kind of just the vibe of today. Like making decisions and then inevitably changing my mind a few minutes later. But I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out so far. I think I'm gonna start throwing down some colors just to get a feel for next time. Because I am gonna be wrapping up here pretty soon, but I want to get a couple of colors down. So I did want them to be a deep blue colored tiefling. So we definitely got that going for us. Actually, let me bring up my sort of grayscale to reference. Okay. That's too deep. A little, ever so slightly lighter because the hair is going to be darker. I'm just gonna fuss until I'm happy with it. That's too dark. Okay, I do like that. Okay. I lost my mouse for half a second while I was trying to do other things. Okay. Yeah, I want to be using a lot of cool tones in this because, again, part of doing these designs is also to kind of help myself step out of my comfort zone and do things that I don't normally do. I don't usually use a lot of cool toned colors when it comes to my designs, so I figured that would be a good way to start. And then I do want to add, we're going to lock that layer, and then we're going to throw some like icier blue to the tips of their fingers, because they are, I decided they are kind of like ice touched, their fingertips. That might be too far up their hand though. Hi, mister. Whiskey is very upset at something. Me, clearly. I don't know why. Probably because I'm not paying attention to him. Stop scratching that. Okay. Now their hair is gonna be darker. So I'm not even going to do a different I'm not even gonna do a different layer for this. Although I do think I want the hair to be more blurple. Blurple's a real color. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. That might be too dark. Blurple is the best color. I really didn't want to do the stereotypical, like, oh, they're dark-skinned, so they have to have light hair. I feel like that's very common in character designs, and I can understand why, because it's high contrast, and that's, like, just super easy to get across in character design, but their horns are going to be a lighter color than their skin and their hair. Well, howdy, Carolyn. How are you? How are you on this fine Monday? I'm just throwing some colors on a tiefling. To see if I like said colors, or if I want to change everything. Because I have not been very decisive today, so far. I feel like I just had to make so many decisions at work that I was, now my brain's like, nah, we're done doing that. I'm trying to get a rare mount drop, which means playing characters that I haven't played in 2 to 3 years. I just press buttons and hope for the best. Mood! That's how I play, like, all of my video games. That's how I play Final Fantasy. It's just like, I'm pressing these 2 buttons, like, one right after the other. Hopefully they do what I wanted them to do. Alright, you know what I can do now that I am deleting the sketch layer is I can actually make this a more neutral colored background. There we go. That'll help me figure out, so I try not to work on stark white backgrounds because I feel like it helps me figure out color and value better than working on just straight up white. It also helps boost the lighter colors. It's just very helpful. Well, the ones I play daily, I at least know what the little pictures mean. I don't have time to read tooltips when a giant robot is trying to squish me. That's valid. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what most of my Lancer shit does. My husband is just like, press these buttons in this order, and I'm like, okay. And then I do it. And so far I've been doing pretty well, so you know. Maybe I do know how to play video games. I actually am wondering if, do I want this to be... I was originally going with like silver, but maybe I want it to be a super pale yellow instead. I like those horns. Thank you! The horns are definitely my favorite part of this character. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with this color first, and then we'll see if I like. We'll do it in the color I originally wanted to do this in first, which is this sort of silvery blue, and then we'll switch to a more gold, like pale golden, which, if I'm being honest, I'm probably going to like better because I am predictable. But I am trying to push myself to use cool tones. Oh, their eyes are also going to be the same color as whatever we decide their horns are going to be. Here we go again, back when I'm dead. Good luck! I think their eyes could be a smidge darker, actually. I don't want them to be the exact same tone as the horns. Okay. So that's where we're at with that. Now I'm going to do a different layer on top of that. We're going to do a clipping group, and we're going to pick a lighter, very light golden color. I can already tell I like that better. Oh no. I like it better. I like it better, so that's what we're gonna fucking do. I make the rules. I am gonna make their eyes a bit darker though, because I did say that was a thing we were gonna do, didn't I? So their eyes can be a slightly darker shade of that same color, maybe a bit darker than that even. But like I can do, like, kind of in the middle there. There we go. Because again, this character isn't going to have very stark irises or pupils. So Okay, I'm a fan of that. So we can actually merge those layers because, again, this is sort of just kind of playing with colors. This isn't like, we're not doing official color flats just yet. We don't even have the full lines yet. I'm just kind of throwing things at a wall until I like how they look. This is honestly like, I'm sorry if this is very scatterbrained to watch and like maybe doesn't make a ton of sense as I'm going through, but this is kind of how I do my own characters too. Like, some of them I have a better sense of their design than others. But I think one thing that kind of is very different for these adopts is that I don't want them to be beholden to a specific class, and so much of a character's outfit design can be heavily influenced by their class or even like their subclass. Like, that's not to say that, you know, there's clothes that you can only wear if you're a caster, and there's clothes that you can only wear if you're a fighter, which armor, yes, to an extent, but aside from that, I've always wanted a fighter in a dress. I mean, honestly, this could very easily be a monk, or like Blade Singer, or, you know, Pact at the Blade Warlock. Like really girly and I bitch slap the hell out of things. Hell yeah. Like big poofy frou-frou princess dress. That's kind of Rowan's character Cassell, where they dress very frou-frou and feminine, and then they're a barbarian. I think they multi-class. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, barbarian in a dress, exactly. All right, now I think, what do I want for colors? Now I might consult Pinterest for color palettes, just because the articles of clothing that I loosely based these, like the shapes of these pieces on, have their own color combinations that do actually work well together, but I think maybe don't stand out enough with the colors I have currently. So let's see what we can find on Pinterest. I'm sorry you can't see this part of it, but just know that I'm furiously scrolling through Pinterest color palettes currently. And not super digging what I'm finding yet. Let's see if we can change that. I definitely want pops of, like, gold. Like an antique-y sort of gold. I know you're not supposed to mix silver and gold or whatever the fuck, but I might end up doing that anyway. Ooh, a pop of red somewhere might be nice. It would have to be the right red, though. I like pink. Maybe not pink. Alright, maybe we'll find somewhere to put red. Because I feel like we could do something with that. I'm just gonna start throwing colors down. Here, I'm gonna be good, and I'm gonna name my layers. Body colors. Outfit colors. There we go. Oop, okay. Let's see. What if we did... think we're just going to do plain black shoes, if I'm being totally honest, because I don't want them to stand out very much at all. The shoes are not the star of the show, so they can even just be a dark gray, not quite black. Just gonna throw some colors on until I decide whether or not I like them. So I'm not super worried about staying in the lines. And this is very different from if you typically hang out for some of my streams. This is quite different from my usual way of working, because I usually am just finishing like pieces. Like, I'm not in the sketch phase or the color figuring out phase. I'm usually in the line phase or the true color flat stage, where I know the colors of every single thing that I'm doing. But that's not what this is. I'm going to do something a little out there and see if I like how it looks. This might not be the right red. I feel like we could get away with a red. It just needs to be the right red. Like almost pink. I'm just gonna do a lot of changing my mind. We'll see how this looks. I might not like it. I might actually hate this, but we'll see. Oh, actually. This would be here. I've already confused myself with these layers that I've decided. Because they have this shirt underneath, but then they also have a sort of also cropped like sheer top over top of this. But let's see if I like this. That's all colored in. Because I do have an idea for a gradient for this fabric. I do think I want a gradient on the skirt, regardless of the color. I do think that needs to be a gradient of some kind. I just haven't decided which colors. But I'm thinking maybe like a black, gold, and red gradient. We'll see if that's maybe too much. That might be too many colors. I love how I was like, I'm gonna use cool colors, and then immediately made the fucking dress red. It's a cooler red. You know, the more I'm looking at this, the more I already hate it. I don't think that's the right place for the red. I think the red needs to be an accent color if we use it. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm just gonna throw this over here. Yeah, I'm also not jiving with this red. Like, I think we could use a red somewhere, but not that red. So why don't we do our neutrals first? Let's do boop, 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 boop. Maybe the undershirt is very plain black, because again, the other thing I'm trying to keep in mind is I do want to add a lot of pattern to the skirt, especially the skirt and this kind of like overshirt. I do want them to have like pattern to them, because I don't really do a lot of pattern with fabrics, and I wanted to change that. Now, this might be too dark of a color. I might end up making this a lighter gray. We're gonna start dark for now and see how that looks. Charcoal gray. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but I'm starting dark because then we can always lighten it. I mean too dark. Words. I kind of like that, where it's almost like a silvery gray. And then for the crop over top of it, that's gonna be some fun. That actually does need to be its own separate layer, because what we're gonna do with that is that's going to be darker, because I'm envisioning it having like beading in it, and I want that beading to be gold, so I want it to stand out, but the fabric is also going to be transparent. So I want it to be darker to start out with, because then it's going to be kind of like that. It'll make sense, I promise. I promise it'll make sense. And again, we're just kind of putting in the rough shapes here. And this top is actually going over top of this one too, so that's why I would prefer to start the base of this with a light color, because then it's going to get a little bit darker. And then when I do actually go in and do proper color flats and shade this character, what I'll end up doing to help differentiate between the shapes and the forms, because it might get a little muddied, is instead of adding shadow, what I'll do is I'll add highlight and kind of make some of the lines lighter than the rest, so that it really stands out. But that's not for a little bit. We still got some time before we're even at that stage. And then it would have kind of like, not quite this color, but very similar, of like, I haven't 100% decided on the pattern yet, but kind of like sort of starry patterns. I'm just throwing in bits and bobs to see if I like the color. Need to change any of it. This is not, I promise this isn't the final pattern. Just like little bits here and there. And then I don't think I want that to be solid. I think I will end up doing a pattern along the edges here. But right now I'm just kind of doing the suggestion of a pattern. And then like when I go in and do, like I would do that in more of a white color, but just so you kind of get the idea of it. The mean robot is at my wizard. It's a long course run. I'm bummed. I'm so sorry. I hope your teammates get revenge for you. And then I also have to make sure that this color translates well over top of this gray too. Because it is going to be over at that. Okay, I think I'm liking those colors currently. I got was gold again. Oh. For these, I think I want this to be more true gold. I like the floofy blouse. I do too. I've been in like a real like poofy sleeve mood lately with my designs, and I don't really know why, but I'm not stopping myself from doing it either, clearly. I don't know. Maybe it's because like I don't look good in poofy sleeves, so I'm trying to live vicariously through my character designs. I don't know. Okay, and then this will be this gold color. Kind of tie it all back. And then I want, let's see. I think this is gonna have some squiggly design. I'll figure out what that's going to be when I actually get to the real color stage. And then actually, let's do like a dark background color for that. And then I do actually want to use the same light color as the embroidery. Just a suggestion of a pattern. I'll figure out what the pattern is later. We're gonna save because I'm liking how this is turning out so far. And I think I want, we'll see how this looks as being the kind of oddball in that this part, oh, Whiskey's so mad that nobody's paying attention to him. This is going to be the kind of oddball bit where it's not gold. This is going to be silver. Ooh, you know what? I have already decided where that red can go. The red can go in these little beads. I still don't know which red. This might not stay. What, baby? Whiskey's so upset that nobody is paying any attention to him. He's a big baby kitty cat. Okay. I might end up changing this color later, but I want the skirt to be... Oh my goodness, Whiskey's so upset. Now, I don't know if I want the... Hi! Did I erase this? What layer was this on that I erased it? Oh. What the fuck did I do that for? That was dumb. Hi, baby. Okay. Well, now that I fixed that, I don't know how... Hey! Stop it! You were such a brat. Alright, I think I'm gonna have, and I'm sorry if you can hear my husband clicky-clacking in the background, but I do want the skirt to have at least the same base color. I am going to be... I have my webcam off, so you can't see Whiskey being an absolute turd right now. Yeah. Yeah, you have to wait. Anyway, as I was saying, I want the skirt to have a gradient. So I think starting light is going to be the way to go. And I might boost this with more blue-toned dark colors towards the... I think I want it to be lighter towards the middle, and then on the edges make it darker. Both at the top and bottom. Am I talking to Rob or to a cat? I'm talking to a cat. I don't talk to my husband the same way I talk to my cats. But no, Whiskey is very upset about the fact that neither Rob nor myself is paying any attention to him. Alright. So, what I want to do is play around with kind of some of this a little bit. And then I do want the lower layer of the skirt to be darker so that it stands out. I feel like that's too close to their skin tone though. So maybe it needs to be more purple? Thank you for your input. I think that's too purple. Let's do blurple. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I'm gonna like that actually. Sync, welcome in. Thank you. I think I might make this lighter and a little bit more blue. Because I think right now it's leaning to gray for this purple. Maybe. Right now I'm just fussing with color and trying to see what is actually interesting together and what looks dumb. I think I might even pop some of this purple into like the sleeves of this, maybe. That's not quite the same purple. There we go. It's weird because it was airbrushed, so it's not exactly the same. Whiskey is very upset. I don't know if you can hear him in the background, but he is mad. I think I do want some of this lighter shade in here. It is shiny. Hi, Pops. Okay. I think... Nope, I don't like that. Poor baby, all ignored and stuff. I know, his life is so difficult. It's not like I'm going to give him all the love and attention after I hop off of stream today. No, he's never getting any love ever again. I am going to be adding a similarly colored pattern to the skirt. But I think the skirt pattern is going to be a little bit more bold than this is. Let's see. I'm kind of liking this. I keep going between like, see, the issue is this is also just so out of the like color palettes that I usually use, right? So I'm pushing myself to really not go for the colors that I would normally reach for. So to me, this is weird. But that being said, I am actually liking how it's looking, even if it's not colors that I would normally choose. But I do think pushing this purple is maybe the way to go. Because purple and blue do look good together. Why don't we see how... Here's like a wild idea. Why don't we see how just purple looks? Oh my goodness. Whiskey has so much to complain about, apparently. Yeah, I hear you, babe. I know. Your life is so hard. How do we feel about the purple, y'all? Because I'm not mad at it, actually. At all. I think I'm digging the purple. I keep doing that on the wrong layer. But what else is new? I think I like the purple. I think we got there. I think I'm gonna stick with the purple. It's very dreamy. And actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to adjust this red to be just a little bit brighter. I mean, like lighter in color. But just so that it's a little bit more pink. Because I think that's still a really nice pop. Yeah. And then I do want to add, even though this isn't like the actual like colors for everything, like this isn't the coloring stage, I do want to make sure that I have some of the what are the words I'm trying to say? Variation in the face for approximately what it will look like when I do actually go in and color everything properly and shade it. Okay. I'm gonna try one more thing. Because I am extra. And I freaking love gradients. And I think gradients just make things look cooler. I don't know. Just on the tail. A little bit of a gradient on the tail. I kind of like that, actually. Okay. I think we have our colors decided. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a separate layer for color swatches so that I don't have to constantly flip back and forth when I actually get colors down when we get to that point. And I'm just throwing these colors together on the same layer so that I will have them for next time. I do want to color drop this when it's not covered by the other one, though. Oh, it'd help if I was on the right layer. And then I do kind of like this dusty gray that we threw in there. And I'm still going to have this separately as a sketch when I do go in and do the colors. But it'll be kind of off to the side. And then we're going to save down our golds. And this isn't quite gold, but it also wasn't quite the horn color either. I want that just a little bit brighter. There we go. The shoes are very plain, but we can always add a pop of gold there too if we want. And then that, and then we have to remember the opacity was like 25-ish. I might play around with that too. Okay, no, I think having it more delicate is better, but I think having it at 25. 25 looks good. I'm gonna save that again. And we're gonna move these up here so that they're... Okay, what layer did I do that one on? That one. The exact layer it didn't... I'm so smart, you guys. My goodness. Look at me. I'm a professional. There we go. Whiskey is so upset. Oh my goodness. Alright. I think that is a good place to stop for today. I'll be working more on this for Wednesday's stream, but it will be a shorter stream because we actually had to reschedule our Thursday campaigns game this week to Wednesday so that everybody would be able to make it. That being said, before I close out today, I'm going to throw a couple of links in chat if Whiskey doesn't totally fuck up my typing, which he's very much wanting to do. If you don't already follow me on Twitter, you can do so there. I post art, I post my streaming schedule, I post a bunch of dumb memes. It's a good time. You can also, if you like what you see and you want to throw a coffee my way, I do have a Ko-fi. Or if you would like to support me monthly to get some sweet exclusive bennies, that is extremely appreciated, but absolutely not an obligation. And if you want to see more of my work in a more sort of condensed area and get a sense of my pricing for 2022 when I do end up opening my commissions, you can find all of that information there. And feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about a project or see some, or have something in mind that you don't see on there. I'm more than happy to work with you. But that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Monday. I will see you again at around 5:30 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. And thank you very much for joining me. Bye, everybody.